Your name, sir?
Stephen He,
And your birthday?
1957. Yeah, class.
So can you tell me why your husband is so nervous, man? So you are Susan Me? And your birthday? You and your husband, how do you guys know each other? So you're telling me, ma'am, you and your husband know each other through poems with various poetry here? No hurry, young man. Oh, don't worry, you'll be calling everybody young man at my age. We'll have plenty of time for the whole story. But I want to hear it from the beginning. You can always predict the middle and the end of a story. It's either good, bad, or mediocre. But the beginning you can never predict, and that's the best part of the story, isn't it? So, ma'am, you're telling me that you know your husband through poem and you love him because he's written poetry for another woman? I still cannot believe this. Your husband has spent his entire life writing poetry in love for another woman. Aren't you jealous? Mr. He, or Mr. He, your wife's story is quite amazing. It's actually incredible, but I want to hear your side of the story. Stutters again, eh? So, Mr. He, you're telling me you fell in love with your wife because she had kept a promise that has nothing to do with you? You two are actually one of the most hilarious couples I've ever seen. I do have quite a few more questions to ask you, but you know, it's getting to lunchtime and I've got to head out of here. So I want you guys to good luck raising your child and make sure you raise him to be a real poet. Congratulations. You're now the newest citizens of Canada. Alright, we'll do that one maybe a couple more times.
Okay, fast.
That's pretty fast.
I had lots of time to memorize the lines now.
And smooth, yeah.
Yeah, that's a real passport.
Yeah, I made sure I had the pen on it. I thought so.
Yeah, you don't have to hold the poem at the hand, otherwise it looks like a nervous.
Oh, okay, sure. Your name, sir? And your birthday? Ma'am, can you tell me why your husband is so nervous? So, you are Suzanne Me? And your birthday? Okay, thank you. Ma'am, how did you and your husband get to know each other? So, you're telling me that you got to know your husband through poems? No hurry, young man. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to tell me the whole story. You can always predict the beginning and the middle of the story. Or sorry, you can always predict the ending of the story. Oh, no hurry, young man. Don't worry, you'll be calling everybody a young man at my age. I'll have plenty of time to hear your side of the story. You can always predict the ending of the story. It's either good, it's bad, or it's mediocre. But you can never predict the beginning of the story. And that's what I want to hear. I mean, that's what I want to find out. Do that one again. No hurry, young man. Oh, you'll be calling everybody young man at my age. You can always predict the ending of the story. It's either good, bad, or it's mediocre. But you can never predict the beginning of the story. So I kind of want to hear this one. But man, let me hear your poem story first. No hurry, young man. Oh, you'll call everybody young man at my age. And you can always tell the ending of the story. It's either good, bad, or mediocre. But you can never predict the beginning. So Suzanne, why don't you tell me about this poem story? So, ma'am, you're telling me you know your husband through poetry? I still cannot believe this. This whole time your husband is writing poems to another woman, and yet you've loved him through this poetry? Mr. He, your wife's story is quite amazing. It's actually incredible. But I would like to hear your side of the story. What do you have to say about this poem story? It stutters again, eh? Don't worry about it, it's alright. So, Mr. He, you're telling me you fell in love with your wife because of a promise that has nothing to do with you? It's actually a strange theory to me, Mr. He. But you know what? I want to know more about it. Tell me about the promises that you guys were just mentioning. I'm sure there's been a lot of suffering for both of you, as I can see it on your faces right now. You know, you two are actually one of the most adorable couples I've seen through here in quite a few decades. I have a few more questions to ask you, but it's getting to be about lunchtime. So I think if you guys just raise your kid right, and maybe raise him to be a real poet, he should be quite alright. Mr. and Mrs. He, congratulations, you're now the newest citizens of Canada.
You should just sign it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you should sign the red one.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, let's do that last one again. You know, you two are actually quite a cute couple and one of the most humorous that I've seen in a few decades. I like your story and I think you're telling the truth. There are a few more formalities that we normally have to go through, but it looks like it's getting to be about lunchtime. So just make sure you raise your kid to be a real poet, and Mr. He, congratulations. You're a new citizen of Canada. Good. Thank you, guys.
I found a little problem here. Susan's line.